students. Today we will discuss about the topic the saga of wind turbine. So how the wind turbines today we are using has got a long journey throughout so many thousands of years, and you cannot believe actually. So the evolution process has started from, of course, not from BC, of course, from AC first century. But if you say that if you are using the wind energy, we have been using the wind energy from BC itself. So for sailing the boats, it's a wind energy. So we have been using the wind energy for traveling the sea routes for trade purpose. We are able to use the potential of wind energy, and so that was the first thing we were using. And in the first century AD, as I told you before itself, the first century AD, the first century AD, we were able to first time, that is a wind-driven wheel. Okay, wind-driven wheel. So that was by the Heron of Alexandria. So that is nearer to that is in the European region, Alexandria. Heron of Alexandria, Greek engineer. So which was in the Greek Empire. Alexandria was in the Greek Empire at that time. So he is the first person to create a wind wheel, first time, as far as we know in our history. In our history, he is the first person to know about the wind wheel. Okay, so he's the man, a Greek engineer. Now we are talking about the engineers. The engineers were there from the first century, maybe from the before itself. So his name is Heron, and he's from Alexandria. He is a Greek engineer. And for second century, we don't know, and third century, we don't know, fourth century, we don't know, and fifth century, we don't know, and sixth century also, we don't know, and sixth century as well as, but in ninth and seventh centuries, again, 7th and 9th century, 7th to 9th century, we are having proofs that we have been using the windmills in Iran, some parts of the Iran, and some parts of the Afghanistan, and some parts of the Afghanistan. So that is in Asia. So first we have told that it was, according to the available history, we have used it in Europe. So in Asia, maybe in Iran and Afghanistan. So we have used the windmills for those days. So first we have used it in the for sailing purpose, and afterwards we have used it for agriculture. Agriculture is the main sector. Okay, agriculture is our after hunting, after civilization, agriculture is the basic sector, and afterwards sailing for the business purpose. So agriculture, so for grain, for grinding the grains and pumping water. This is also for agriculture purpose and drinking purpose with the development of civilization. Okay, so so to the known history, it was in the uh, first century in Greek and 7th to 9th century in Afghanistan and Iran. And we will see how we have. So again, so 9th century, again in the 1000 AD, in 1000 AD, China and Sicily. So China is in the east and Sicily is in the west. So Sicily is the part of a small island below the Italy. China. So China. So these people have used not for maybe before itself they have used it for the agriculture purpose. The new thing here is that they have used these windmills for pumping seawater. So you know that seawater is pumping the seawater. Seawater is salt. So they have pumped this seawater for making the salt. So this is quite interesting thing. So many people now, if you ask the people, they only say that windmill. Oh, okay, electrical energy. Now they are getting awareness. So many people are getting awareness. So if I say if anybody says that in 1000 AD only the human beings used these windmills for pumping salt water and making the salt. So this so many people may not know. Okay, in agriculture purpose we have used it for pumping and grinding of the grains. Okay, next thing, if we see in the evolution of the windmills from the starting to now, the horizontal axis wind turbine is more popular. So its axis will be horizontal. Okay. The horizontal axis wind turbines, even today, they are more popular for so many reasons. So, but in 1180s, first time, vertical axis windmills. Vertical axis windmills were used 1180s. Okay. Developed and used in the northwest Europe. So northwest. If you see northwest Europe, so where is north? So west of the Europe, you can go for the Spain like that, the Dutch. So east again, Greek, all these things. So northwest Europe, probably it will be France or Germany or England, Scotland. Okay. So there they have used the vertical axis windmills in 1180s. In 1180s. So again in 1887, that means after 30 years after our first independence, first war of independence, Indian War of Independence, after 30 years of Indian War of Independence in 1887, the first wind turbine, so he is used to produce electricity. So not it is inbuilt, not it has the windmill has not directly produced electricity, indirectly. We have used the windmill to produce the electricity. So that is in Scotland. So it will be in United Kingdom. So Ireland, Scotland, Wales, all these things, England, all these things combinedly we will call it as United Kingdom. So in Scotland. So first usage of windmill for the not for grinding, okay, not for grinding, pumping water or pumping salt water. So first time for purpose of indirectly for production of electricity we have used in the Scotland, that is in 1887. 1887. That is after the first independence war of India. 30 years of After the 30 years of first war of independence in Scotland. Okay, that scientist is his name is Professor James Blyth, and he belongs to Anderson College, and now it is called as Strathclyde University. It has developed as Glasgow and Strathclyde University now. So Blitz, what is the model? If you go into the details of his design, it is 10 meters height, and it is the cloth sailed. So it is made up of cloth. So maybe you may think that in olden days it is made up of generally wood. It is made up of wood. So he is the person with the usage of cloth, cloth windmill, and with that windmill he is able to produce with the with that windmill indirectly he is able to produce the electricity. Generator is somewhere not inbuilt, and for the first time he has given supply to the cottage. So it has become the first house in the world so to get supply in the world, to get supplied with the help of the wind electrical energy. So its height is 10 meters. So it is made up of cloth. That windmill is made up of cloth. So, and his name is James Blyth. Name is James Blyth. So that was the evolutionary process. And if you observe this windmill, so of course it is made up of wood. See how many blades are there, or how many wings are there for this windmill. So with this type of windmills, so these are earlier windmills. So you can observe this pic is black and white pic. So now you cannot observe this type of windmills. So not only it is made up of cloth, nowadays it is not made up of cloth, it is not made up of wood. So it is made up of steel and reinforced concrete and fiber. So that is these are all the developments made when it was took this project is took by the NASA. They have developed, they have advanced make developments. They have reproduced with steel, concrete, and fiber. So here you can observe this is having more number of wings. So that means okay. So it is able to produce more torque, but the speed will be less. So it is not a high speed wind turbine. You can say it will be very slow. More torque will be high. Okay, again, within 1 year, in 1887, that is, which is made up of cloth, that Professor Blyth has used the windmill to produce the electricity, and has given the first house, the first house powered house in the world. So in 1880, the first US wind turbine. In 1888, first US wind turbine. It is the first US wind turbine, and the person is Charles Brush. And the person, his name is Charles Brush, and he has done it in Ohio. So now you can, the students who are going for foreign, they are familiar. Ohio University, one university is there. Ohio is famous. So after 1887 in Scotland, in 1888 in England, Charles Brush from Ohio. So within again in 2 years, in 1891, Danish scientist, he is Paul Lacor develops first electricity generating wind turbine. So that is now this is directly electrical wind turbine now. So in 1891, okay. So that is he is from Danish scientist, and which is called a Dutch. So Paul Lacor develops the first electrical wind turbine. So which directly produce the electrical power. Paul Lacor. So again, after his invention in 1891, in 1895, he is developed a wind plant. This is electrical wind power plant. So first he has developed the one single turbine and wind power plant. That means so many windmills. And he has given supply for a village called as Asco. Village called as Asco. So probably that may be in again in Dutch because he is a Dutch scientist. Okay, he is Asco. So maybe the first village uh, to get power from the electrical wind turbines is Asco from the Dutch. Okay, so again by 1900s, so 1900s, so they have used 2,500 windmills to produce 30 megawatts. So first time. So this again in Denmark. So this is in not in Dutch. This is in Denmark. So first time they are able to produce 30 megawatts with the help of the wind turbines. So this happened in the Denmark. So after this process in 1903, after 3 years of this process, again that Danish scientist, he has established a society called, which includes Society of Wind Electricians. Okay, Society of Wind Electricians. This is the first society to be formed in the world regarding to the wind electricians, and also he has rectified his that windmill, which is made up of cloth, to a windmill with less blades, with a less blades. So with less blades, it spins faster. So it becomes a high-speed windmill. It becomes a high-speed windmill. So these things happen in so that the establishment of the society of wind electricians and less the wind turbine with less blades. That means high-speed windmills. High-speed windmills. So within 1 year again, in 1904. So what he has done? So he has, if you observe that fellow, that person, that in 1887, okay, in 1891, so the Danish scientist, he had developed a first electricity generating wind turbine. Again, so he's Paul Lacor. Again, in 1993, he has established the society, and again he has that electrical generator to less blades. He has developed. And 1994, he has started first course. So he has given the course in windmills. Okay, the Society of Wind Electricians holds its first course on wind electricity. So the first batch was trained in who got trained in the electrical wind turbines came out in 1904. So within 1 year, yes, 1903 he has developed the society. He has established society. 1904 he has completed. He has given the course certificates. So again in 1908, so we are able to develop a wind turbine, electrical wind turbine with 5 kilowatts ranging from 5 kilowatts to 25 kilowatts. 5 kilowatts to 25 kilowatts. So that happened in Denmark again. It happened in Denmark. So it includes 72 windmills. So ranging from, so not, so 72 means these windmills capacity ranging from 5 kilowatts to 25 kilowatts. Okay. In 1927, so that means commercialization happened. Factory, a factory is established 1927. A factory is established. That person is Joe Jacobs. Joe Jacobs and Marcellus Jacobs. Maybe these people may be brothers. Joe Jacobs and Marcellus Jacobs opened a factory called as Jacobs Wind Factory in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Okay, that place. Okay. The first factory of regarding to wind turbines manufacturing. The first wind turbine manufacturing factory is established in 1927. So that is Jacobs Wind Factory. The name of the factory is Jacobs Wind Factory, and this is established by the brothers named as Joe Jacobs and Marcellus Jacobs. Okay, so this is the updates up to 1927. So the first patent was taken by Georges Jean. Okay, first patent. He has taken the first patent in 1931. His name is Georges Jean Mary Darius. Okay. So interestingly, the first patent is taken on vertical axis wind, not on the horizontal axis. Vertical. So the patent on vertical axis is taken on 1931. So a vertical axis wind turbine design called, that is the Darius type. It is a Darius type. So on his name, on the person who has taken patent, his name is Georges Jean Mary Darius. So he has developed a vertical axis wind turbine called as Darius wind turbine. Okay. So even today we are using, so in the vertical, so if you classify only two types of wind turbines, horizontal axis and vertical axis. Okay. So horizontal axis, only one type. So maybe in evolution process, with wood, with cloth, they have developed so many blades, so many wings. So that may be there. But if you come to the vertical axis, from the starting, there are two types, Darius and Severius. Now, coming the thing in vertical axis is hybrid, mixed type of Darius and Severius types of wind turbines. So, in 1931, the first patent taken by a man called as George G. Mary Darius on vertical axis, Darius type of wind turbine. Okay, so now this type of vertical axis, even today we are using. Even for today, we are using this type of vertical axis wind turbine in competition to the Savanius type of wind turbine in vertical axis. So afterwards, what happened in 1941? A turbine is developed with having a capacity to produce megawatts of power. Up to now, we have seen a turbine only with a kilowatt of power. So in 1941, first time a turbine developed with a capacity of producing megawatt of power. So that is 1.25 megawatt. Okay, so that is in Castle Town. Okay, and it is supplied to the local grid. So it has blades of 75 feet in length. See, observe. So much long blades. So the length of the blades is 75 feet. Okay. So again, in Second World War, if you so afterwards you can see 1941 the World War came. So what is the evolution? What is the modification has taken place in that World War II is that we have developed a small wind turbines, especially in Germany. So so Germans were using U-boats. So those days, advanced type of boats, U-boats, which are very faster. Okay, so these U-boats only are the reason for the World War, entering of America into the World War II. Okay, so these U-boats have blown the American boats. So for these U-boats, they were using the batteries. Okay, see, in World War II itself, they were using the batteries for in the ships. So for this recharging of these batteries, we are using small windmills, wind turbines, or wind turbines that happened in the World War II. Okay, so that's why for this bringing of the awareness, I have making this video. So afterwards, long after in 1957, so we have previous slides we have discussed that the company Jacobs company, which has a factory, which has started producing. So if you come to 1957, they have sold 30,000 wind turbines by 1957. So that means you can observe. So they have established this factory in 1927. So after 30 years of establishment of this factory, if you see 30,000, okay, 30,000 of turbines, wind turbines, okay, were sold. So this is a record. So the customers were in Europe, America, including Africa and Antarctica also. So maybe some for electrical purpose they have installed in Antarctica also. So again in that year only, in that year only, they have developed uh, some modifications. They have done some modifications in the horizontal axis wind turbine, and with a diameter of 25 meters and only three blades. Already minimum number of blades. Okay, three blades. So now we are using a three blade turbine. So this is the ultimate. So no doubt. So more than three blade, efficiency decreases. Less than three blades, again the performance will decrease. So the ideal number of blades is three blades. So the diameter is 24 meters. So that is the development. And again, another thing is that so its capacity is 200 kilowatts. Okay, we have used the aerodynamic technology in this designing of this type of horizontal. So this update version has happened in 1957. So in 1975, so here you can observe before the NASA have taken up the program of wind turbines. Before the NASA, these are large shifts. Okay, so first we were using for sailing the boats. So from sailing boats to a windmill for grinding purpose, wind wheel is first step. It is a shift from that wheel to again windmills for grinding and pumping purpose. Again a, a great shift. Again from that agriculture purpose to the application of electricity. Again it's a great shift. Again from there that electricity to indirectly using of for electricity to directly generating directly output we can take from the windmill, that electrical wind turbine. That is a great development. Again from again calling as a wind plant, wind power plant. Again to the installment of the factory. Okay, so again from kilowatts to megawatts, from house to villages, villages to cities, like that. So if this is another shift, NASA has taken up this utilization of windmills, wind turbines, electrical wind turbines. So these NASA scientists have brought so many modifications. Actually, they have modernized these wind turbines. So they have introduced the steel tube towers. So earlier they were not using the steel. So they have improved by using the steel tube towers and also variable speed generators. So this is a new development they have done in 1975. So NASA has taken up this program and they have shown that we can use the composite blade materials. Okay, blade. If you are using only steel, it may be some more weight. Okay, so steel tower which can withstand more weight. Again, the blades. So blades, if you have less weight, can rotate easily. So they have used composite material and they have introduced the pitch controlling mechanism and they have used the aerodynamics and also NASA has included structural and acoustic engineering design capabilities. So with this, NASA has brought a revolution in the evolution of the electrical wind turbines. It is a big leap. It is a big shift. You can say so many modifications the NASA has brought. So this is 1975 is undoubtedly a remarkable year for in the evolution process of the wind turbine. So NASA belongs to America. So in the same year, in 1975, the first US wind farm is put online. Okay, so it is kept in online and they have supplied for 4,149 homes. Okay, so again afterwards, a act came after 1975, after 3 years. A act came, that is Public Utility Regulatory Policies. That means we have supplied to the houses, domestic, we are using for the domestic purpose. So then an act came. So that the act name is the Public Utility Regulatory Policy Act. So this is for USA. After NASA has taken up, so many developments have occurred, and it has greatly domestic power is supplied. So for that purpose, an act came, that is a Public Utility Regulatory Policy. Okay, So again in 1980, GE Wind Energy. Okay, that is another company. So it is formed. GE Wind Energy is formed. So wind developer John is formed. Eventually becomes, now it is called as GE Wind Energy. So that time it was called as wind developer John. In the same year, the Siemens wind power. Now it is called as Siemens. Starting it was called as Dan Regn Windcraft, or spinning off from a Danish. It is a Danish thing. So now it is called as the. So more privatization occurred. So after public, now it has become, after the act came, now it has become more private. So more private companies have established the wind power plants or wind uh, generating factories, and they have started privatization. And in 1980, the cost levelization has happened. So levelized cost of wind power. So now, no irregularities. Now it is 0.38 kilowatt hour. 0.38 per 0.38 dollar. $0.38 in the 1980s. Now maybe it has increased. So 0.38 kilowatt. Okay, hour. That is dollar. So dollar is in USA. In USA. So afterwards, in the same year, in the 1980s, the Denmark people have started searching for the offshore wind installation of the offshore wind turbine sites, suitable sites. So for getting the suitable sites of offshore wind power plant installation, they have started searching. Okay, in the same year, the the wind turbines connecting to the grid has happened. So directly connecting to the grid, wind turbines connecting to the grid. In the same year, commercial wind turbines, okay, were developed of rotor of diameter 17 meters and capacity of 75 kilowatts. Okay, in the same year. So with the capacity of 75 kilowatts and 17 meters of diameter. Again in 1981, a second wind farm. Okay, starting wind farm we have seen in that for village. So that is in village, that is Denmark. Okay. So again in 1981, second wind farm, that is in USA. So the capacity of 10 megawatts and supplied to the 8,575 homes. Okay. Next, again in 1981, the California implements tax credits. It implements the top tax credits for wind turbines. In 1982, four wind farms. Okay. So in 1981, two wind farms. Okay. In 1982, four wind farms. Okay. Again in the America. So it has supplied to the 13,500 homes. So two wind farms, 8,500 homes, and four wind farms, 13,500 homes. And in 1983, some legal issues have occurred between the companies. And 1983, eight wind farms. You can observe eight wind farms in the same USA. You can see how the wind energy, now we are talking of establishment of wind energy in India. See, in 1980s only, they have domestic, they have used for domestic and industrial purposes in America. So electrical energy is very, very important for industrialization. and indirectly for exports, indirectly for becoming rich country. Okay, 8 wind farms in America in 1983. So approximately they have supplied for 109,000 homes. In 1984, 15 wind farms and nearly 1,46,000 homes they have supplied. And 1986, that California now, so earlier they have uh, given the credits, tax credits in 1981, 1986. So you can observe. So after 1981, they have given the tax credits. The same year, 2 wind farms came. In the next year, 4 wind farms came. In the next year, 8 wind farms came. In the next year, 15 wind farms came. So after the government has thought, okay, it has it has reached its goal in improving that wind energy. So they have taken off the tax credits. Okay. So again, some legal issues came in business of the wind turbines in 1986. So in 1987, a 3.2 megawatt wind turbine is developed by NASA. Okay, see, before NASA, there is a less progress in wind turbines now. So after NASA has taken, they have developed the steel towers. They have used the mixed compound materials for making the blades. They have made it to 3 blades. Okay, variable speed generators they have implemented. They have implemented aerodynamics, structural designing, all these things. So again, the NASA has in 1987 again has not NASA has came forward with one more new feature or development, that is a turbine of 3.2 megawatt. So it has the first large scale variable speed drive train and and a sectioned 2 blade rotor. So it is having a 2 blade rotor which is easy to transportation. It is easy in transportation. Okay. So that is the development. Okay. In 1990, the Solar, Wind, Waste and Geothermal Power Production Incentives Act came is enacted to amend Tripura. That is first act. Okay. So in 1990. So that means they have started for mixing, hybrid type of. They have thought of going for hybrid type of generation. So along with that solar, that's why they have taken for acts in the mixed, the combined solar, wind, waste, and geothermal power production incentive act. This act came in 1980. So the first act came in 1891 regarding the wind. Again in 1990. Again you can observe that immediately after that act came, incentive act. So 46 wind farms. You see, 46 wind farms. So see the you can see the impact of that acts. Okay, 46 wind farms and 3 lakhs giving supply for the 3 lakh homes. A huge development. Okay, so again in 1990s, durability and performance become more important for customers. So tubular steel. So when they have used earlier, they were using steel. This is tubular steel and reinforced concrete. Now we are using that reinforced concrete towers. Steel or reinforced concrete towers we are using now also. So that those were first used in 1990s. So in 1991, a company, Vestas company, sells its thousands wind turbine. 1,000 wind turbine. So okay, so this is the progress of humanity from using of wind for sailing to the from sailing to the agriculture, from agriculture to the electrical generation, from single house to the so many houses, from domestication purpose, from cloth to from wood to compound blades, usage of steel and reinforced towers, usage of compound blades, usage of aerodynamics, structural design. So we have achieved so much of growth up to 1991, and remaining thing we will discuss in our next video. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.